I'm delighted to introduce Simon Jordan, the Chief Technologist at the Center for Process Innovation in the UK. He will tell us today about flexible and 3D electronics for connected medical devices. So, Simon, over to you.
Thanks very much, Christoph, and thanks for the introduction. Good afternoon, everybody, well, whatever time it is in your part of the world, welcome. It's good to have you joining us. So today's presentation is a short explanation of some of the recent work that's been going on at CPI in flexible and medical flexible and 3D electronics in the field of connected medical devices. You may not know CPI. We are an organization set up to support companies to help to develop, prove, and scale up and commercialize new products and processes. We're based in the UK. We're part of what's called the UK Catapult Network. And we're a whole series of centres that are partially government funded, also partially look after ourselves through collaborative R&D programs, and also a lot of commercial consultancy work that we do with companies. And in CPI, we're part of the High Value Manufacturing Catapult. Again, a whole bunch of centres in a wide range of different technologies that we all work together to collaborate to support primarily UK industry to bring the latest technologies along. But also we work with companies far and wide throughout Europe and throughout the world, in fact, doing commercial and collaborative R&D sort of programs. So in CPI, we've 5 or 6 centres. It keeps growing, actually, so I lose track a little bit. But we have a number of centres in a number of different technology spaces, including things like biologics, where we have colleagues working on pharmaceuticals, large molecule pharmaceuticals. We have industrial biorefining, very large scale biorefining sort of processes. We have chemists working on all sorts of smart formulation, and my section is electronics, where we develop new electronics technologies and help companies to understand how to use these technologies to maximize the maximum benefit in their organizations. Our aim is to create a sort of a healthier society, cleaner environment, and to boost the UK economy. That's really what we're here to do. So that's enough about CPI. Let's have a chat about some of the technology that we get involved with. And we actually work in a wide range of market sectors, but health tech and medical devices is something that we've seen a big growth in recently. And we've had a lot of inquiries and projects in this sort of space over recent years. And in fact, it's an area that we're growing into continually. This space has some interesting technical challenges, and I want to discuss those briefly now, and then look at our approach to solving some of those challenges. So the technology challenges of medical and wearable devices, well, it comes down a lot of the time to how people use these things. Wearable devices, medical devices, the general approach is that we need these things to be very simple to use, very easy to use, unobtrusive and straightforward and easy to adopt. And this comes down to things like the product design, the form factor. It's a serious challenge to make these devices very lightweight when the functionality that companies and users are looking for is really quite complex. So we need to pack a lot of processing power, a lot of sensors, and a lot of functionality into very lightweight and flexible devices. And ideally, many of these will be comfortable to wear, simple strap-on devices or wearable, part of your clothing. That's a serious design challenge when you're constrained with the conventional ways that we build electronics. Power sources are another serious challenge as part of these sort of products. The more and more processing that we want to put into devices, the more power that's needed. But the more power you need, the more bulk of battery. So these are quite serious challenges as well. And it's always an important discussion with the client as to understand exactly what functionality they need, and therefore what sort of power source and requirements there are. So making these lightweight, long life and very mobile is an important part of the design process for these medical and wearable devices. They also go through quite harsh environments. Strangely enough, washing machines are really quite harsh, and many of these devices are required to operate in those sort of circumstances. So making these things very robust and washable is a serious